Paul Frederick Simon, born October 13, 1941, is an American musician, singer, songwriter and actor whose career has spanned 6 decades. He is one of the most acclaimed songwriters in popular music. Simon was born in Newark, New Jersey, and grew up in the borough of Queens in New York City. He began performing with his schoolfriend Art Garfunkel in 1956 when they were still in their early teens. After limited success, the pair reunited after an electrified version of their song The Sound of Silence became a hit in 1966. Simon and Garfunkel recorded 5 albums together featuring songs mostly written by Simon, including the hits Mrs. Robinson, America, Bridge Over Troubled Water and The Boxer. After Simon and Garfunkel split in 1970, Simon recorded 3 acclaimed albums over the following 5 years, all of which charted in the top 5 on the Billboard 200. His 1972 self-titled album contained the hit songs Mother and Child Reunion and Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. The 1975 album Still Crazy After All These Years, which featured guest vocals from Garfunkel, was his first #1 solo album. It featured the #1 hit single 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, among other top 40 songs such as Still Crazy After All These Years, Gone at Last and My Little Town. Simon reunited with Garfunkel for a performance in New York Central Park in 1981, drawing 500,000 spectators, followed by a world tour with Garfunkel. After a career slump, Simon released Graceland in 1986, an album inspired by South African township music. It sold 14 million copies worldwide, and remains his most popular and acclaimed solo work. A number of hit singles were released from the album, including You Can Call Me Al, The Boy in the Bubble and Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. It won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year in 1987. Simon continued to tour throughout the 1990s. He wrote a Broadway musical, The Caveman, and recorded a companion album, Songs from the Caveman, which was released in 1997. His 2000 album You're the One was nominated again for Album of the Year honors. He followed that album with several years of touring, including another reunion tour with Garfunkel. He then released Surprise, 2006, his last album of the decade. In 2016, he released Stranger to Stranger, which debuted at #3 on the Billboard album chart and #1 the UK albums chart. It marked his greatest commercial and critical success in 30 years. His most recent album is In the Blue Light, 2018, which contains rearrangements of lesser-known songs from his prior albums. Simon has earned 16 Grammy Awards for his solo and collaborative work, including 3 for Album of the Year, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Still Crazy After All These Years and Graceland, and a Lifetime Achievement Award.